Kansas Motor Speedway had 30 trucks out there. The biggest thing to talk about was, J-Mac, the guy who dominated all race didn't end up winning. It was Mordock who ended up showing up at the very, kind of towards the later half of Stage 2 and really taking the reins of that race and dominating. But MC winning, you know, you and I both talked about it. He kind of stole the show for us, man.
He really did. He ran up in the top 5 pretty much the whole race, worked his way up into that second place position, and was able to hold off eSpark admin, aka also known as Go Fast Matt, who is a Pro League driver. He was able to hold him off in the final stages in a 1v1 battle. That was very impressive. Both of us kind of opened our eyes a little bit, and our mouths were open, and that was really cool to watch. He definitely opened our eyes.
He's certainly somebody that we want to watch out for here tonight, I think. I think that was a huge breakout race for him. Again, talking about MC winning that 98 truck, I think he's going to play a factor in this race tonight. But of course, it goes without saying, we're at a short track, and we got a cup driver in the field. We'd be remiss if we didn't talk about him. Mr. Track Bar's out there, and I think he's ready to take them all to the woodshed, wouldn't you say?
I mean, Mr. Track Bar, he's fast everywhere you go, but his bread and butter is short tracks. The tougher the track, the faster he seems to be, as long as you're turning left, and that dude is gonna be on a rail tonight, just from the times that we've heard in comparison to the rest of the field. Mr. Track Bar, he's gonna be a tough one to beat. It's gonna take some strategy and a little bit of luck to come out on top of him tonight.
Now, you said the word strategy, and again, be remiss if we didn't talk about him. We know Super NASCAR fans always got strategy up his sleeve. The question is, do we think he has the pace within that strategy to make it work and execute it? That's the biggest thing. You know, you and I both are strategy kind of guys. Brian, I'll have you chime in on this one. Do you think, what if Super is going to pull this race out and get a victory and steal it, what does he have to do strategy-wise to try and seal the deal?
I think the biggest thing is just a lot of fine math calculations, especially kind of you touched on it. There's going to be a lot of fast trucks, especially that 24 truck of Justin Brooks. I mean, it's going to be on rails. I think the biggest thing is just making sure that you kind of got the delta right, making sure that you can pit in enough time. But here at Gateway, definitely from having experience here, it's an abrasive racetrack, definitely tough on equipment and tough on tires. So every time you're going to want to come down pit road, I see all the competitors wanting to take 4 Goodyear Eagles. And kind of, I think the biggest thing with fuel is varying that fuel load. I think you can get about 15 to 20 laps on a fuel run, depending on how long your tires are last. I definitely will see some strategy with people taking varying levels of that Sunoco racing fuel.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You know, this is one of those tracks where you can get away with the fuel strategy, so I think it's not out of the realm of possibility. I think it can be done for Super and some of the guys if they want to go that route. Let's hope it does, because that'll give us something to talk about, but we'll see what happens.
And if I might chime in here, I think a lot of the drivers that have attempted to work on a strategy move, it's not the fuel that's the issue. It's like Brian said, this track very aggressive. That right rear tire, it takes a lot of adjustment to figure out a way to make that right rear tire stay on the car, at least even modestly even with the rest of the other 3 tires. So I think that's the issue that a lot of these drivers are facing as far as strategy. And it's not really so much the fuel, it's figuring out a way to make the car go to the end of that fuel load.
Right, and that's going to be a huge thing, is getting the tires to last that long, especially the right rear and the right front here. Big thing. Now, just to give you guys an update, they are still active qualifying, so we're just kind of waiting, chilling out, hanging out. Good to see a lot of viewers popping up already. Awesome job, guys. Make sure you share the stream. New for eSpark this week, we just created a Facebook page. You can find it, of course, on Facebook if you search up Filtertime eSpark Series. Follow us on Twitter at the eSpark Series. Also follow our personal Twitter handles. Mine's Tyler Dohar. That's Jordan T. McGraw here up in the booth with me. Our pit reporters down below. We got B. Tedeschi, Fluffy Racing. Those guys some love. Give them something to all follows and all that good stuff. Good vibes everywhere. But we're just sitting here waiting for our invites to race. I'm guessing the pole sitter's probably going to far. I don't think there's going to be any question about that. Probably be a shock if it wasn't anything more than half a second. Here, wouldn't you say?
Probably. Yep, that's probably a accurate assertion.
Yeah. But we will we'll have to see what happens. But let's talk to big race winner Fluffy Racing a little bit more, man. How you feeling? It's been a couple days. Has that wind sunk in yet, man?
Yeah, dude. It's it's crazy, dude. It's crazy that I pulled Kentucky, last week, and it was surreal, man. It was a very surreal moment. Struggling all weeks and finally getting the car to where it should be, and snagging that win, that first in the Cup Series, and it was awesome, dude. It was awesome feeling to finally get it done at Kentucky, and like I said, hopefully we forward to Michigan Sunday, and hopefully we can get it done then.
I hope so as well. Just confirming some things with eSpark admin before we head off here. Asking me some things. I tell you what, man, Fluffy, I know you've been just struggling to feel that you were fully competitive, especially over on the Cup side of things. A lot of people don't realize that transition between PlayStation and Xbox for us controller guys, it's really tough. It takes a lot of time and practice. Man, you started perfecting it pretty early on, and I'll tell you what, man, you got it down pat. I'm really excited to see what you do, and I think the floodgates open for you, brother. I think you got a lot more wins coming for the rest of the season, and good news for you, you're locked into the battle, son. You don't have to hide your time until we go to that finale for the Cup Series, but we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Most definitely. I appreciate that, man.
Of course, brother, man. All right, J-Mac, let's give ourselves some dark horse picks here so we can cover a little bit of time. Who are we picking as your dark horse to win tonight?
Well, all depends on who's in the field, and I don't like making picks without knowing the speeds or whatever, but I have been in a party with one of my buddies, the driver who's currently second in points for this league, and he has he's I think he might try to split this thing in half. It's been a tough task to get it, but I think he can pull it off. He's worked on it. I think he figured it out there at the 11th hour, so I'm going to watch out for that 52 truck of Leafs Justin.
Yeah, Leafs Justin was somebody we were watching as well last week at Kansas. Had a really strong car, ran up in the top 5 all evening long. Ultra competitive driver. Matt, if you're watching, please don't forget to invite us. Thank you, just in case, but we're still thinking they're wrapping up qualifying.
Yeah,
but
they just finished
for my
up
dark
qualifying.
horse pick, awesome. For my dark horse pick, I'm going to go with somebody that I don't think we talked too much about last week, but I think is going to really show up and put out. And that's going to be the 68 Outlaw Beast. I raced with him over in NNR, over on that side in the No Name Racing League in the preset world. Awesome guy over there in the Xfinity Series. That's where he drives over there. Really talented wheelman. And WWT is one of those places where, yeah, the setup is important, but it's very much a driver's track. You can put a good setup under the car, and you can ask Brian. Brian shared setups at WWT, and the rest of us are like, dude, this thing is not good. I don't know what you're doing, but this is very much a driver's track. So I look for him to maybe show up and show out here. Might not have the best setup at the party, but I think he's definitely a good enough driver where he'll be up front and he'll definitely be a part of this when it's all said and done. Don't know. Brian, Fluffy, you guys got some dark horse picks? Let's go with Fluffy. You got anybody you want to pick out in the field? And you can't pick Track Bar.
My dark pick would probably be Big Dog. I'm looking up on this, the daily, and he's looking pretty strong. I think he's going to be my dark horse is JPZ Big Dogs. Yeah, that would be my dark horse pick for.
Awesome. All right, we are in lobby, folks. You see us here. Might actually be able to sneak our pit reporters in, which will be nice. So there's some room for you guys too if you want to sneak in or if when he wants to watch. We got track bar on the pole. No surprise there, guys. So Vegas betting odds were very favorable in that regard. As you're getting ready to go green here, J-Mac, let's say you're starting in the middle of the pack. What's your thought here? You're going down into tight turn 1 with 29 other trucks around you. What is your thought process as you're going through this first lap or two?
Try not to kill the person in front of you. Try not to get killed by the person behind you, especially going into turn 1 that first lap. Just because it's so tough to gauge, especially on a restart. That's something that isn't talked about a lot, is how difficult it is to kind of change your racing lineup when you're not up to full song like you normally are. And that first lap into a turn as challenging as this. That's gonna be that's gonna be pretty tight.
Of course. Now we're going green. We see the 24 of Mr. Track Bar 33, your leader. Again, the pole sitter. He gets out to an early 2-car length advantage coming off turn 2 down the back straightaway. J-Mac, you want to call the rest of this lap? I'm going to try and sort through a couple guys here.
Alrighty, well, Track Bar, he takes it down into their turn 1. Got a half a car length advantage on that 33 truck. Pulls it out to a truck length, I should say, coming off of 4. Very, very smooth, both of these drivers. These two are starting to pull away from this side-by-side battle for third. That is Big Dogs on the inside of Crackmaster in the 4. That's going to be an interesting name to call all night. But Big Dogs and Crackmaster are side-by-side. There is the custom truck of eSpark Admin running in 5th. As those two sorted out, Big Dogs with Crackmaster with the advantage over Big Dogs was able to power around on the outside, keep that momentum up. eSpark Admin falling back just a little bit, gets out of line going into 3. Looks like he's under fire from that 99 truck, the 99 truck of...
Air Just Cause.
Air Just Cause. Matt able to
awesome
keep
to
that.
See.
Matt was able to keep that momentum up on the exit of 4 and clear them.
Yeah, there's a lot of action going around on this short track, guys. As you see it, I'm trying to pan the back view because our first
issues
top
in the
4.
back.
Oh no, let's get to the back here, see what happens. You get to catch an eye on that. I see the 18 has slowed up way much. He's losing a couple spots. That's Fear the Skull in the number 18. He's getting to the outside of Leafs Justin, though, in the 52. Looks like Justin started towards the back, so maybe he's playing that strategy early already, J-Mac, as you talked about, just kind of riding, maybe saving a little gas, saving a little tires, trying to pick these guys off one by one later in the run here.
The length of these stages there, it's basically a full-on sprint, full bore into the turn, and no one is better at a full bore sprint than Mr. Track Bar, especially at a place like Gateway. He has a massive lead over that 33 truck of TA Creech. Creech watching him drive off into the distance, but Creech himself getting a little bit of a gap on that third place truck. The battle on the track right now in that top 5 is for third.
It certainly is, and I'm riding around with Super NASCAR Fan. He's running around in that 8th place spot right now. Really high early on for this guy. I would have thought he would have been back mid-pack, maybe in the mid-20s or so, upper teens, trying some strategy, but I'm riding along with him, J-Mac. It sounds like that engine's full bore, 100%, so he's ready to pick these guys off one by one as I see the 4-car going side by side there, trying to get to the outside of Go Fast Matt, that 32 truck, the 99 following shortly behind Air Just Cause, and then it looks like the 87 in front of them, that's Crackmaster, rounding out the top 7.
Happen to go back to Super NASCAR Fan. He's a driver who needs to race like this. We've talked about that he likes to do strategy. He likes to go way outside the box to try to steal some position, steal a little camera time. But this is what he needs. He's a young, enthusiastic driver. He needs to be up here racing as hard as he can, side by side with these drivers, figuring out what his car can do, putting that thing on the edge, and putting that truck on the edge, I should say. I'm going to do that all dang night, all dang season probably. But this is good to watch him get out there and race, just go full 100%.
And you said it perfectly. This is going to help him build some confidence as we see him get to the inside of the 87, make a little bit of contact. This is going to give Super the confidence he needs to be racing in the Cup Series where he regularly is. Give him that confidence to race side by side as we see him get a huge shot.
Just Blaze getting 2 for 1 with that shove. He gets NASCAR Fan. NASCAR Fan gets that truck outside of him. And Blaze using that no damage to his benefit as he gets 2 spots in 1.
That was quite incredible. The bump and run executed pretty aggressively there to pick off 2 positions early on here in stage 1. Brian, how are we looking down in the pits, brother? How many laps we got ticking down? And of course, you know, Mr. Track Bar set sail, martini in hand, and is probably fighting a wheel issue. Am I right?
Yeah, pretty much. From what it sounds like from the pits here, it sounds like that pretty much everyone's chasing that 24. Qualified 6/10 ahead of the field in qualifying, and like you see, he's sailing away. I think we're coming up pretty close on our first pit stop. I wouldn't really count out a caution yet. I think they're racing pretty hard in the back, but overall, be expecting them to come down pit road really soon.
Hopefully, but there are no cautions in the Truck Series. They just run stages. That's the cool part. These guys just get to run it out. It's kind of just letting them loose and give them a starting point and ending point, and anything that happens in the middle, well, that's up to their design. It really allows these guys to kind of build on some things. We have a new second place driver, J-Mac. While we've been talking about Super, we got Big Dogs. He's moved up to second place. He has gotten around Creech. Go Fast Matt still in 4th place, followed closely by Crackmaster to round out your top 5.
His Big Dogs is one of those drivers we saw at the front of the field all last week at Kansas. He's having another strong run, showing he can do it at different styles of racetracks with different styles of racing. He's holding nice and tight along that rumble strip in 3 and 4. Running a really solid line, but not fast enough to catch that 24 truck as Mr. Track Bar just getting tinier and tinier off in the distance. This is a really tall task. This is tough to ask of these drivers, but Big Dogs is going to give it what he can as he sets sail on the rest of the field here. Meanwhile, Creech falling back into the clutches of that 4th place truck.
And let's not be remiss to the fact that if you're running in second, you're still beating a lot of quality cars and quality opponents out there. Think about it. You're beating a couple Cup Series drivers. You're beating Go Fast Matt, Super NASCAR fan, Leafs Justin. You're beating some pretty big names out here, even if you're running in second place. Of course, you want to be running up front. As I'm watching a 3-wide battle here, I don't know if you're watching it. The 88, the 16, and the 19.
Look like Super
pretty
NASCAR
crazy to watch.
Super NASCAR might have paid that 88 truck back a little bit for that bump earlier. Got into him, but he wasn't able to keep the momentum up. Lost position to the 88. The 88 and 16 still side by side. This is some excellent racing back here for about 6th, I believe. This is an excellent
I want to say 6th or
battle.
7th place. Yeah, they're doing very well right now. This is a very tight track. I cannot stress enough how hard it is to race side by side or even think about going 3 wide. That 16 car is doing a very good job holding service on the outside lane. The 88 gets by him, but he's holding up a tough battle there for the 19. And as the run goes on and that right rear starts to go away, I think Asylums is going to get the advantage as he's on that outside. Oh, his Super NASCAR fan uses him up a little bit going into the turn, sneaks up back underneath him going into 3 and 4. But I think that 16 is just going to be strong enough to power away on the outside, and they'll get single file and try to reel back in that 88 truck.
Yeah, the inside line is the preferred line, but you can get a great bite through the center and out of it on that outside. It does do a little bit of work on that right rear tire. It can tear it up a little more. It kind of changes the balance of it a little bit. It's a little bit of a tire save line, but doing that, it does put a little bit of extra work on the right rear, and this is a place that, as we've documented, it's a tough track on that right rear tire. So, as you said, these drivers are going to start slipping and sliding. This end of the run here, we're going to see who has a hot lap car and who has a long run truck. But one driver who has both, that leader, he is set sail. There is no issue for first place right now.
Yeah, that 24 truck of Mr. Track Bar is just taking them to school here. We're riding along with Big Dogs in second place, just seeing that 24 get ever so farther away. Thought it would be a little bit more by this point in the run, but he's kind of holding pretty good service with that 24. Just running and chilling in second place, gathering some distance from the rest of the guys. Talking about Creech, talking about Matt, who are trying to race side by side here. We see a battle developing for the 3rd position. Matt digging to the underneath. Looks like Matt can get into the turn a lot better as Creech gets loose off turn. We saw that a lot at Kansas, too, with that 33 truck. How is he going to be on the long run? I expect him to be very fast.
Oh!
Short right this. We got a truck that crashed, but luckily got paused. That was a little bit of a hair raiser.
That was, yeah, thought your voice was gonna go up another octave there. Definitely got a little shake voice, but Matt and Creech able to get through there unscathed. But you're exactly right. That 33 truck, he was really, really good for about a half a run, and then it fell off, and he started sliding around, slipping and sliding around. Was still able to get a good finish out of it, but you definitely want to see him be a little bit more stable on these long runs, have a little bit more of a long run car. You have to sacrifice a little speed sometimes to get it, but right now, these two drivers, as hard as they've been racing each other, they might be gaining a little bit of ground on that 44 truck as he struggles through lap traffic.
Yeah, that 44 truck struggling with the lap traffic, but they catch up to
that's the end of the
at the very
stage,
end as
I
the
believe.
stage break comes out. Yeah, that was stage's end. Mr. Track Bar 33 from the pole leads every lap in the first stage to take it home. Big Dogs gets second. Go Fast Matt in third. Creech holds on to fourth, and looks like that Ford truck, he is going to end up fifth. That's Crackmaster in the 4. Let's go down to pit road. Talk to Fluffy. Fluffy, we're getting ready for some pit stops. First pit stops of the night. What are you hearing these guys are going to be doing, brother? How are they going to catch that 24?
Well, they're going to try to make some adjustments down here, and I think they're going to take 4 tires here for stage 2, try to get the truck be right, and try to catch that 24. That's all we're hearing right now.
Yeah, everybody just chasing the 24. Brian, you got anything to add, brothers? We're getting ready to go back to green here.
I think the biggest notes is you see a lot of trucks definitely struggling with loose conditions, especially off of 2 and off of 4. So definitely lots of air pressure and wedge adjustments coming up here as we go back to the green, back to y'all in the tower.
Uh-oh, we got a new leader in town, the 34 and the 50. 34 must not have been able to pit there. He gets out of the way. Common courtesy, but you know Track Bar's a little bit fuming under there. The 50 truck also probably forgetting to pit. That's the 50 of Captain Obvious. Well, Captain Obvious, you should have obviously pitted there, but you didn't. But you got out of the way, and you did the right thing. Track Bar back to the lead here, as that kind of shakes up the middle of the field. But we see that 33, J-Mac, he's back up to second place. The question is, can he hang on to that with a longer run?
You hope so. This second stage going to be maybe a lap or 2 shorter than that first stage, but that's not going to make much of a difference. He's still getting slick. Hopefully put a little bit of wedge into it, took a little tire pressure maybe out of that right rear, and you saw the same thing
the
I did.
16. Oh man, I think that was the 16 of Asylum got the boot from Big Dogs. That's the trouble you were talking about, J-Mac, to start the race. Going down into turn 1, all these trucks around you, in front of you, behind you. You don't want to run the guy over in front of you, and I think that was Big Dogs trying not to run over Creech, but he ends up getting run over as a result. A very frustrating situation, but we know that 16 truck has a very, very fast hot rod. He can pick those positions back up and get up there. He just needs to keep his head under. As we see a couple trucks, I see some grass kicking up. Oh, I see a truck flipping!
Oh, that's super NASCAR fan. He's wrecked.
Super NASCAR fan. It's gone upside down and over on his side. I have no idea what happened. Did anybody catch what happened? I saw a truck hit the grass and then just start flipping.
I just saw a truck in the grass. That's all I got. He's able to get up to speed pretty quick for what happened to him there, but a lot of track position lost. He was running up there near the fringe of the top 5. Now he's about in 11th to 15th, somewhere in that range. A lot of track position lost, and the 17 just straight into the wall behind him.
17 got hit there. Looks like a couple guys are really loose under braking right now, J-Mac, and you and I both know, we talked about going down to turn 1. The car might want to jank to the right when you're under that heavy braking, and it looked like the truck that was underneath the 17 there just got into him, got loose, got into him, and the 17 just, Jesus, take the wheel, because I can't hang on anymore. There's nothing you can do when that happens. But tough break for Super in the 17 truck, but I think those guys, they got another stage break here. Super just needs to calm down, pick them off one by one, and get back up to the front. He lets the 52 go by there. I think that's a smart move, just kind of ride behind Justin, or try and pass him. Don't listen to me. That's fine. He's trying to pass 52 here, so we go down the back straightaway, get that position back. So you can tell Super's a little bit frustrated. probably situations out of his control, but he'll rein it in and he'll get back up there. He's got a fast truck.
Well, this is really the game will be afoot in that third stage. The first and second stages, the way the laps work out, it's a sprinter stage. Like, there's no pit stops, won't be any green flag stops. Everyone's going to be able to make it. They have been able to make it. So, really, you just want to position yourself here to have as good a track position as you can for that third stage when the box kind of opens up for what kind of strategies you can play. But right now, the best strategy is a really fast truck, and that 24 truck still leading out front.
Yeah, and to get a driver on that 17, that's Jay's Fast, otherwise known as Mr. Gimbal, with that early struggle. Now, I'm riding along with the 98. That's our dark horse, well, mine at least, MC Winning. Trying to follow along with him. He's running towards the back half of the top 10. He's around the 18 of Fear the Skull. He's kind of been mired mid-pack all day, J-Mac. Looks like he might have a longer run truck because I'm noticing already only 5 to 6 laps into this stage, we're seeing a lot of guys get loose off too. This MC Winning, and that's 98, he's keeping it straight off of turn 2. He's not having to wiggle and chase the truck. So I think we'll need to watch out for him in stage 3. I think that's where his bread and butter is right now.
I believe so. I think his track position was really hurt because he was part of that wreck that happened kind of in the mid to back pack that we saw a few laps ago that we didn't really know happened, but that really killed his track position. He's been kind of trying to claw his way back. He's been working his way up through the field. He's got a strong truck. He has a lot of momentum going from last week, just needs to keep it going, and like you said, he has a pretty stable looking truck. He got a little bit out of shape there going into one, which we've noted is something that seems to happen to these trucks, and I think he'll be all right. Just needs to maximize what he can here, control what he can, and try to get some track position for stage 3.
Absolutely. Just so everybody knows, we did have one early park already. Stop Mania has his truck on pit road, retired from the event early on. Following with Creech again, and we're seeing that looseness come out, J-Mac. He lost second place to Asylum, gives up third position to the 44 there. So now he's riding back and forth, Creeches, with only a couple laps to go in the stage. Hopefully he's able to hang on here and not give up too much position, but I can already tell he's fighting a loose truck in the center of the turn and off here as he heads down the back straightaway.
And like last week, it seems to be happening a little earlier, a little more prominent in this second stage. You have to wonder if maybe he's adjusting some looseness into it, a little more turn to try to find some speed, and he's going a little too far with it and killing his long run speed a little bit. He just made a little bump and run on the 44 truck. The 44 and him are side by side, going down into the tough turn 1 on these old tires. So difficult to get down in there and keep it clean. Both of them give each other plenty of room. The 44 taking a very nice defensive line, very high. Oh, he's able to keep it up. The 33 getting loose, trying to mat it off of turn 2, and 44 takes the advantage.
Right, and I think that 44 knew that if he could just stay with the 33 on corners exit, limit the turning radius that 33 has. The 33 already fighting a loose truck. Yeah, I saw him pop the wall there. 33 truck of Creech. Really hanging on, dropping way back here. 3 wide we see between the 88. Oh, and a crash!
He got
Creech
that safer
crashed.
barrier. He got the safer barrier on the entry to the corner, and that's so easy to do. You know, you're racing somebody else, and they disappear off into the corner, and a wall just appears in front of you, and you don't really have any opportunity to dodge it. You don't have the time to, and that seems to be what just happened to him there, and he's going to be fighting an uphill battle with a fast car, but he's going to be fighting an uphill battle in stage 3.
Yeah, we'll really have to keep an eye out on Creech and see how he does, especially in stage 3, the longest stage of the 3. We've already seen he's got a very fast short-run car for about 5-6 laps, but after that it starts to become a handful there. So you'll have to see how he's going to be digging here on this restart, impending once stage 2 kind of wraps up here. Looks like we got about 3 to go in the stage here, J-Mac. I think Mr. Trackbar should be taking the 2 to go. Brian, if you can tell me where we're at lap count-wise.
As far as I'm looking, yes, you are right. We are at the 2 to go.
All right, perfect. Well, the battle's going to be for second, as we figured. We got Asylum and the 44 side by side, and also
Correction,
Go Fast
that
Matt
was actually
catching
the
up
white.
there.
That was actually the
That
white
was the
flag.
white flags. So we're coming to the checker to the stage. A big battle wrapping up here for second, third, fourth, fifth place. The rest of your top 5 here as Mr. Track Bar sets sail, gets another stage victory, wins stage 1. The 16 of Asylum's going to get second. Matt will get third. The 44 truck of Big Dogs will get fourth there, followed by the 4 car of, and we know it.
Crackmaster.
Know the name. I'm sorry, I don't. Of Crackmaster. How could I forget that name? That's gotta be the best one to get there. Well.
The 88 of Just Blaze coming in 6th, and that's second through 6th. A great battle, and now the game is afoot. Now we get to see what kind of rabbits these drivers can pull out of a hat if they can manage to hold on to that right rear tire and split this stage while maintaining it a fast enough pace.
Yeah, man. Hate to see it, but I think this 24 truck has got something that nobody else does. And everybody out there is just fighting for second place. They're just fighting for second place at this point. That's about all we're fighting. All right, Fluffy. We didn't get it all the way there in stage 2. We didn't get up to the 24. What do we got to do here to cut our losses now as we come to the final stage here?
Well, this is really tough because that 24 is just on rails. Like, nobody's to get up to the 24, but it's just it's a handful to get up to him. But I think they could play some strategies here, and that strategies could be a factor, but just don't know yet. But we'll see at the end of this race.
Well, we're seeing some we haven't seen all night, J-Mac. The 24 is side by side with somebody. That's the 32 of Go Fast Matt coming up to play a little bit. Matt and the 24 leaning on each other, going down through the front straightaway, crossing the start-finish line down into turn number 1. Matt with the advantage, a little bit ahead, but Track Bar powers to the inside. Absolutely manhandles it. Wow, that was some stopping power right there. He had that foot mashed on the brake.
He really did. That 16 truck, he's there hanging with the 2 Pro League drivers. Matt gives him a little chin music and comes down on him just a little bit, throws a little mini block even though he's all alongside of him. To show the 16 he's there, but the 16 holds strong, but I think Matt's going to have the advantage. It was some good racing there at the beginning. Matt gave it a good try, the old college try, but the 24 truck just too strong. He powers ahead. Now we're going to see. You have to wonder if maybe some of these guys maybe had a fast truck, had a hot lap truck for these first 2 stages. If they might have put in a lot of adjustments to tighten these things up to try to make it. But right now, all these drivers seem to be running the same exact pace they were, and that 24 truck slowly starting to gap.
Yeah, he's starting to just pull it out on him. You wonder, he's probably saying to himself, well, you know what, I'm just riding. I ain't even trying that hard. Just want to keep him honest. He's probably just riding along. He knows he's got a faster truck. Just kind of pulling away from him at this point. But, you know, give it out to Asylum and you know, they're hanging tough. They've been in the top 5 all night long, the 16 and the 44. You've got the 88 truck up there. And my guy, MC Winning, he's up there in the 7th, getting side by side here with Air Just Cause, and 3 wide as the 87 gets involved. This is a fantastic race for. We got Super NASCAR Fan. He's worked his way back up into the top 10 and is now trying to grab that 7th position from these guys.
Really fast car, and that kind of tells me Super NASCAR Fan. Yeah, this tells me Super NASCAR Fan might have abandoned the option of trying to split this stage, because he is driving really hard trying to beat these guys into turn here. Right alongside, I believe that's McWinning, desperately trying to get around him.
Absolutely, he's trying everything he can. He sees those leaders. Top 6 in particular getting away, and I think Super's got a top 5 truck. He just needs a little bit better track position. I think he might have a better long run truck, as we see the 98 up there getting a little loose. And that might have been the 13. I don't know. There's so many trucks out here. There's 30 trucks we got to keep up with, but we're following it.
The 2 trucks we need to keep up with, there's still a battle for the lead here. Track Bar not pulling away. Go Fast Matt, eSpark Admin, the 32 truck, he's staying right along with that 24 truck right in his tire tracks. He's running a little lower line, track bar really diamonding 1 and 2. Really plows it into turn 1, slides it up the track, then cuts it down and gets a good drive off. Matt running a little more line right around that rumble strip. Those two drivers really going hard. Matt trying everything he can to stay with that 24 truck, who has absolutely dominated the entire night so far.
Absolutely. Brian, I'd be interested to talk to you. I'm sure that 24 is just kind of playing chicken with Matt, wouldn't you say? Or is there an issue going on with that 24 car?
Nothing that we heard from here down in pit lane, but it seems like, I mean, just saving, it's just long stage, and kind of from seeing some of the strategies we watched the 32 go fast man about put it the wall off of 2. I definitely think that it's really going to be a really, really long stage, and just saving will be important. So we'll see as the stage progresses.
Yep, and as we're watching here, we got a good battle developing for third place. We'll try to keep an eye on that battle for the lead, let you know if it heats up. But third and fourth heating up here as we've got the 16, the 44, and the 88 all racing tough with each other as they have been for most of the evening. The 88 getting on the inside of Big Dogs there. Move that 44 back to fourth place. The 88 the 44 will move back to fifth. Crackmaster following close behind in sixth, and these guys have broken away from that battle between Super NASCAR MC Winning boys to separate kind of this top 7 here.
Yeah, just Blaze. We've seen him use the bumper a couple of times. Another little run on that 40 to take over that 4th position. Now he's got a set sight on that 16 truck of Asylum as they dive into turn 1. Asylum sliding up, running about a half a lane higher than that 88 truck. And both of them getting a little bit loose off that corner already. So already tire degradation, these trucks starting to lose a little bit of grip out of the corner. Drivers driving super hard up here at the front, trying to hold on to that 24 truck and trying to race each other for the position they can.
Well, it's almost like fool's gold in this position, J-Mac. You look in front of you, you see the truck that has dominated all evening is still within just a second or two of you. You know, you want to be able to push it and get up there with him. You think you might have something, so you might be driving this truck a little bit harder than you want to at this point in the race because he sights and you think you might be able to get him, and we haven't seen an extremely long run to know if Track Bar has the car underneath him to maintain the lead for that long. So these guys, you know, we're seeing them battle so hard third on back because they can see the 2 leaders up front. If Matt and Track Bar stay side by side for a couple laps, these guys are right there to try and take the lead from both of them.
And as we've noted, it's such a tough place to race. All it takes is one mistake out of one of those 2 drivers when they're racing that it could completely change the outlook of this race. So you have to stay in touch with those drivers. You have to keep at it. You have to stay confident that something will break your way. And right now, the 88 truck, he lost that 4th spot to the 44, and now he's under fire from the 4 car of Crackmaster.
Yep, that's a fantastic battle as they go side by side here down the front straightaway, crossing the start-finish line, down into turn number 1, the 88, driving it in there deep, but the 4 car is going to have the bottom line, gets a good apex through the center of the turn. They're going to be battling side by side here off the back straightaway, but the 4 car should be close enough to his side here, be able to get him off turn 4. We'll see as they head down into turn number 3. The 88 really just clearing himself right there. That was pretty epic move right there, clearing himself.
Yep. And the 4 really crowded him down that back straight. And something we haven't talked about is that there is a entryway on that backstretch, and so the backstretch wall falls away from you and then slowly comes back, and it's really easy to kind of lose track of it while you're paying attention to who you're racing with, or to get pushed up there as the 88. Ooh, that truck's starting to fall away. That 88 Ford just losing a lot of grip. I think he's about to come to pit road.
I see, yeah, and one thing we haven't talked about because we haven't seen it, we're seeing green flag pit stops, but the important thing to note here, everybody, is there is a rule where they have to use both access roads on entry and on exit. So we see Matt in the 32, viewers on stream watching, you guys see that he has already made his pit stop, just making it now. Not sure what the fall off looks as far as times go, but I think that this will get him in front of the 24 Track Bar here when this cycles out, making sure that they both have clean entries, clean exits. But then it's going to be Matt gets to play a little defense. We saw him hanging up there with Track Bar. He was running him down, got to the bumper right before they went to pit stops. So I think Matt's going for a bold strategy call to try and get in front of the 24 and kind of put fate in his own hands at that point and see what can happen.
Yeah, this 24 truck just so good on the short run, but where it's really made hay is in that middle and long run, and it has such great longevity. He's still out there. Go Fast Matt already pitting. The 24 truck slowly putting a big gap. Not quite as big of a gap, but I think it's like Brian said earlier. I think the 24 just taking it easy, trying to conserve that right rear tire, try to shorten the number of pit stops or whatever kind of pit you need to make out of that final stop. And right now he's just running a nice, smooth, clean race like we expected out of him.
Right, he's made absolutely no mistakes. Now, he hasn't caught up to lap traffic yet, so that's where we got to see. That was obviously the biggest struggle point for him in the last race at Kansas. Running up front all day, getting into some lap traffic there, and then issues going on the pit road as we see the 24 hitting pit road hard. Gets into the grass a little bit, but is able to keep it straight, running a little bit slower of a pace than we saw Matt. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how our delta plays out here. Late pit exit line, track bar gets in there. Decent. I'd say that was a pretty good pit entry.
It was a good pit entry. You have to wonder if maybe that little bobble, the truck kind of getting out from under him there under braking, might have been an oh, okay, I should take it easy moment, and that's why he was maybe a little more conservative throughout the rest of the access road. But a smooth entry nonetheless. Now he's going to have a heck of an advantage on that 32 truck. He's going to get to run him down. He's going to have a rabbit out there, which he hasn't had all race long.
Yeah, he's got something to chase. As we see, it looks like the 19, that's our boy, Super NASCAR fan, just about missed that access road. He's into the inside wall, but stays on the access road for the most part. Should be a legal pit stop. Following the 98 there of MC Wynn, and he's been around him all day long. A little bit of issue there that we haven't talked about. But now we're looking at, as you see, as the cars are coming off of pit road, the 32 takes the lead and is going to have a little bit of a lead there over the 24.
And the truck I'm riding with, two trucks still out on the track that I think have been around each other and have not yet pit. That 52 Chevy of Leafs Justin 24, and then the 3 is also out there. That is, I don't have my list up in front of me, but he is also, I believe, not hit pit road yet. It looks like he is not going to be coming down this time, but these two drivers running the same speed, and I think they're going to be able to one-stop this thing.
That's App Goose and 3. Yeah, they might be trying to. I'm not sure. Brian, can you give us how many laps are left? And are we looking at a 2-stop race for most guys and then a 1-stopper for the 52?
Definitely looking into that from the stream. We're getting ready to come around to trigger the amount of laps. I think this is a one-stop strategy. I know there was a lot of talk in the garage earlier about people turning the wedge up and kind of taking the tires down to save tires. So we'll see as the 98 of McWhitting comes around here. How many laps are left to go?
And the 3 just hit pit road. The 52 goes around for one more lap.
That's
24
really
laps remaining.
So there will definitely be one more pit stop. Is what
definitely be one more stop.
All right, that's really interesting to see here how this is going to play out. Now, while you guys were talking about that, I was following the leaders, and Track Bar muscled his way around the 32 a little bit, ran up on him so much with those 3-lap fresher Goodyears. He got right to the back of Matt, was able to get underneath him in turn 1, and is pulling away from the 32. Matt's got to be thinking about when he makes this final pit stop here, because he may have to make it sooner than he intended now that he's losing that track position that he gained on Track Bar already just a couple laps into this fuel run.
Yeah, that's the game you played. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, now do you try to tough it out and equalize that final stop so that you're on equal footing, or do you have to pit early and keep that undercut and hope that maybe it's severe enough that you gain enough to hold on to that position? But I think that's a gamble that just isn't quite going to pay off. But we'll have to see. Maybe that final stop things will be a little bit different.
Yeah, we will definitely have to see. Now, I'm curious, Brian, what again was the fuel window here that we were looking at this track?
Definitely dependent on tires. 15 to 20 laps was what pretty much from the practice runs that I heard that people were making. A lot of people were on the lower end. We saw saw the 24 there, he did a full fuel run of 20 laps. So definitely good on the tires and also good on the fuel. So it'll be tight. If somebody like a Super NASCAR fan can save and potentially make it, this is going to be a nail biter for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that 19 is going to have the strategy because he pitted about a lap later than the 24. But J-Mac, I'm thinking
the 52
Leaf
is just
Justin
hit pit
might
road.
have this.
Leaf
Justin might have this in the bag. Because they should be about, because MC Winning had made his pit stop when he gave us a lap count, so that means Justin would have been about a lap ahead of him. Probably pitting here with about 18, 19 to go if you can give me a lap count whenever you can. But I think Leafs Justin might be onto something here, J-Mac. I think he might be able to pull this off. It's just got to be if the delta's there. Is Track Bar putting it down too fast of a pace? Because we see the 52 right in front of the 24 here. We got to see how big this pace is. It looks like the 52 is about to go one full lap down. Now, he's still safe because the 24 we know has to make a pit stop. The 52 at this point that we know doesn't. So this will be really interesting to see. I think Leafs Justin might be sitting in the catbird seat here, Jordan.
And the 52 truck also is going to have a lot fresher tires, even if he's running a little slower pace. Naturally, he's not going to be the sitting duck he normally would if these two trucks were on equal footing. I think the 24 truck's still faster. It's still getting bigger in his mirror. But right now, that 52 truck of Leafs Justin, it has a little bit of an advantage here, and I think you're right. And the thing is, that first run, the first half was the one that these drivers were trying to make go longer. I know that's something that he was talking about while he was practicing, was that he was trying to go a longer distance on that first run. That was the one. So if he was able to pull it off, then I think that he's made his last stop, and like you said, he might be in the catbird seat here.
Absolutely. Hearing 18 to go, so it should be coming to 17, I believe. Again, Brian, if you can give me a lap count whenever you can, buddy. I need to know, Zane. I need the tool because I don't know what's going on, and I'm just making educated guesses at this point. But we know one thing's for certain. This is going to be interesting to see if the 52 can pull this off, because this is going to be the biggest threat to Track Bar at this track right now, with somebody going unorthodox, going out of the box, picking up a strategy that works on fuel and tires, but able to keep the pace to where they can make one less pit stop, and Track Bar still wouldn't keep them behind the 8 ball here. So I think if Justin can maintain this gap, where even if he gets lapped, he has to stay about a straightaway within the 24, because when the 24 goes down pit road, he's got to use both access roads. By the time he pits and everything, you're probably looking at about 48 to 50 seconds. So that's about the amount of time Justin can afford to lose on track, and then you got to factor in the lap times when the Track Bar comes out on the track with fresher tires and is trying to run down the 52, who might still be having to save. Maybe not as much, but certainly going to be something to watch. And I wish I had a way to articulate the math here that's going through my head, because this is getting me buzzed. I love seeing this kind of strategy play out, but we'll see what happens. At this point, we just got to bide our time here and watch as this 24 tries to lap the 52 and put him as far behind as he possibly can.
That's the thing you were talking about, keeping up the pace. He was about a 15th to 20th speed truck while saving, so running a really nice pace while holding on to that right rear tire, and now it's starting to slide over. The 24 has the advantage is shifted completely into Track Bar's favor. I think Justin would be better served just letting him go here, and I think he's gonna let the 24 dive it in underneath him, but he's gonna challenge him a little bit. It looks like maybe slow him down just a tiny bit, but I think the 24 is gonna win that out. Track Bar has put the 52 truck a lap down. This is where we'd say, oh, a yellow would kill him, but we don't have any yellows, so the 52 truck free to run his strategy, and the 24 has to turn up the wick, or else he's gonna get beat by that strategy.
And let's face it, even if we had cautions, I don't think anything's changing right now, J-Mac, because these guys, all 30 trucks, have been so competitive and so well handled out here. We've only had 1 or 2 minor incidents that would have triggered a caution anyway. So really, you got to applaud these drivers in the Filtertime Truck Series for being well equipped to handle this racetrack and short track racing. That's why I love this. I love watching short track racing. A lot of action going on. We're trying to keep with it and follow it as best we can. There's just so much going on, but these guys aren't making fools out of themselves. They're out here driving the wheels off these things, but they're not wrecking each other, and they're taking very good care of each other. I've noticed a lot of give and take, J-Mac.
There has been a lot of good give and take. There's been some rubbing and racing. There's been some moving going on, some drivers moving each other, but that's to be expected at a track like this. It's been a very, very clean race, a very fair race. Even when it's not been clean, it's been for the most part fair. And I've really enjoyed watching these drivers out there trucking.
Absolutely, and I'm following along with our friend, the 19 of Super NASCAR. I've noticed his pace dropping off on the straightaways a little bit. You wonder if he's got the memo that maybe he can stretch it if he saves. Kind of misses the entry to turn 3 there. You wonder if he was trying to pit and maybe just overshot it, but we see some pit stops starting. We got one in the pit lane. We got Panthers. He's making his pit stop in the 3. Following along again with the 52. This is the gap we're watching at this point. This is the race. A lot of the trucks being really spread out, but Justin is kind of at the edge of the comfort zone, I would say, of where he needs to be with that 24 truck at this point. Actually, I think Track Bar on pit road. Track Bar's in his pit. That's what we need to watch.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
let
need
you
to
know when
see
Track
how
Bar
he
comes out of the pit.
All right, I'll ride along with the 52 truck here, and as he has unlapped himself, he's coming back around. Down the back straight.
He should be the leader right now. He should be the leader right now because Track Bar just came off of pit road.
Oh, he came off of pit road.
Track Bar is down the
okay.
back straightaway. Yeah,
Ooh.
Track Bar has come down the back straightaway.
This is going to be a lot closer, I think, than we thought it would be. I think Track Bar might be a little too fast here. He might, but goodness gracious, this is going to be a nail biter. And on top of that, we have to wonder about the 52 truck making it. If Leaf Justin blows the tire, it completely goes out the window. But here comes Track Bar. He's slowly tracking that truck down, and by slowly, I mean he is rapidly tracking that truck down.
Right, as I would expect. I'm trying to get us a lap count here. We've lost our pit reporter, Fluffy. I don't know if you've got a lap count for us. We've lost Brian to work. So we don't know what's going on.
I think we're coming about 12 to go here.
Oh, goodness.
No, 10. No, 10 to go. 10 to go. As Super NASCAR fan just is mowing the grass out here, coming into 4, going to the pit road now. Back to you guys.
All right. Super NASCAR fan getting a little hairy on pit entry. As we ride along with Big Dogs there, he boots a lap truck out of the way to get around there. Again, nowhere to hide here. We're following along with the 52. We see that 24 digging through the mirror, trying to catch up here. We're going to catch up to Track Bar and try and see. Oof, there's not much distance to be had. MC Winning just took the 9 to go. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm
sweating.
I think this is for a sec. I think without Track Bar in the field, that might have been a winning move by the 52. But I think when Track Bar saw what was going on, he really turned up the wick. He really turned up the speed because I think he has a lot of reserve to get into from the pace he was running to start this stage. And right now, the 52 and the 18 getting together. That's just going to help Track Bar. This is not going to be much of a fight here as the 24 shoves his way to the outside. He's going to take that position away from Leafs Justin.
Gets to the outside there, digs it around, and that's your pass. Not for the lead right now, as we still have got some trucks that have not pit yet. The 4 truck primarily, I think the 4th truck is showing us the leader. Let's try and get with him. That's Crackmaster here. We're trying to follow along. Crackmaster coming off turn 4. Still your leader. Looks like he's saving. Maybe coming down this time. Keep an eye on him. He stays out. Might be trying to save here. I don't remember where he was on that pit cycle. Trying to remember.
The only two I remember being out there really late was that 52 and then the 3 of and those were the only 2 who were able to go a really long distance there. So I just don't think you're going to be able to make up that much distance if you had to pit early. I just don't think saving from here on out is going to be a good idea. I don't think it's going to work out for you.
Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. But we've just got so much going on. I have no idea. Looks like they've taken 6 to go. Maybe even 5 because, I have to watch from the 98's vantage point. And he's made his pit stop. He's a lap down in 8th position, and the 4 car is showing up as the leader. But I see that 24 in the background, so I think this is going to be our pass for the lead here. As they hit, or no, that's the 16 truck. I'm so sorry. We're trying to catch around to this and what's going on. We're a little bit lost, but thank you for bearing as the 4 truck comes off turn 4. Turn 2 there gets a little loose. Cockeyed sideways. We're going to see. I think he's going to go by that pit entry again and stay out here. Running low on the straightaways, J-Mac, indicating to me that he's really saving fuel. I think they took 4 to go there. He did, and now he's coming to 3 to go, I believe. Wow, this is crazy. This is quite an interesting turn of events we're seeing here.
It really is. The 4 of Crackmaster running a really fast pace that first half of the stage. Really turned it down, and that might be the winning move here if he's able to hold on to that right rear tire. Oh, he's lost it.
Oh, he wrecked!
He lost it.
He blew a tire. I bet you he blew a tire.
Oh, absolutely.
I bet you anything he blew a tire there.
He absolutely
just
blew
goodness.
a tire.
What? Oh, man. Oh, that is crazy. Oh, the 4 truck has to just limp it back now at this point.
Wow. Who's our leader now?
That is a crazy turn of events. I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's currently working on that.
No, nobody's taken the lead yet. The 4
The
truck still
24.
running down
The
the back
24.
straightaway. All right. He takes the lead back again. And you just wonder, maybe Leafs saved too much. I think the strategy was possible.
I think he was right on edge. I really believe that he took it as far as he could go to make mixed pace with distance. I think this was it. I mean, he without track bar in the field, he would be running. He's running second right now. Matt has not passed him. He's about a half a straightaway, a quarter of a straightaway now behind him. That 52 truck is running second. The 24 is just running such a torrid pace that even a strategy as aggressive as that as the one that Leafs Justin tried to play tonight, isn't going to work because the 24 is just going to pound him over the head with raw speed.
Right,
the
and
white
I
flag
believe
right
the
here.
24 has just taken the white flag. We see it. There's absolutely been no contest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's been the track bar show through and through. He took him out to the woodshed. He showed him where the water was, but he didn't let him drink from it. And as coming off of turn 4, going to keep the 10 car on the lead lap. The 24 of Mr. Track Bar 33 goes to victory lane for his first victory in the Filtertime eSpark Truck Series. Congratulations to Mr. Track Bar. I do believe your boy, Leafs Justin, is going to...
The 32 he pinched Go Fast Matt a little bit in turns 3 and 4. He gave him the inside, then came down on him just a little bit. An aggressive move, but he was able to hold on to second, Matt in third, and then I believe that the 44 came home, but the 16 came home in fourth. That's Asylum, and then the 44 of Big Dogs rounds out your top 5.
That's a great finish for those guys. They ran up in the top 5 all night long. Leafs Justin stealing the position there. To round out your top 10, you've got Just Blaze in the 88. He'll finish 6th. Air Just Cause gets 7th place in that 99 machine. MC winning. Our guy, our hottest driver on the circuit, we thought, got 8th there. Super NASCAR fan ended up coming home at 9th and really redeeming himself. And I'll try and get you a 10th place finisher here once that all racks up. But Brian, if you could bring Mr. Track Bar in, we'll get an interview with the race winner. 10th place was Average Joe in the 87, so a good run for him. And then Outlaw Beast coming in 11th position. So, wow, we've got him here. We've drug tested him, ladies and gentlemen. He's passed inspection. What a show. Mr. Track Bar 33 coming away with a dominating victory. J-Mac, interview our winner here.
Here with our winner, Mr. Track Bar 33. Ask you how your race was, but you didn't do a lot of racing because you were on rails the whole night. Talk us about that third stage. It seemed like you picked up the pace once you saw the 52 truck trying its aggressive strategy. Was that the case, and were you worried at all that might be able to beat you? Well, not much else to say about it. That was a dominating performance, very impressive out there, and the next. I don't know what else to say. That truck was on rails.
What else do you say? You go to a short track, you got the best short track racer on the game, you take him to a short track, you put him out there with even competitive, very, very competitive cars, and he just goes out there and he shows you why he's the best at what he does on these short tracks. Congratulations to Mr. Trackbar33 on the huge victory. And of course, we got our second. Oh, we couldn't even hear him. It wasn't that much of an interview.
JTG Doherty Racing for that well-prepared truck. Had a pretty good truck. Thanks to all the guys watching. I want to thank Samuel Moordog, Morris, the Jim of the Giraffe for tuning in and supporting me. Thank you guys for putting this race on. And let's go!
Good win, Track Bar.
Good win, Track Bar.
That was a very good win. Well, J-Mac, I'm with our second place finisher. I thought he was going to get the job done and seal the deal. If that race was about 5 laps shorter, he might have had it. But at least, Justin, you ran towards the middle of the pack all race, and J-Mac told me to watch out for you, saying you had a strategy come up in mind. What are you thinking as you're coming down to those final laps and you see that 24 just getting bigger and bigger in your mirror?
Pretty much just hold on to it, because I'm trying not to watch the gap, but I'm trying to watch it at the same time, not wanting to just stay looking at the windshield, and he just too much speed. He came out way too close to the back of me for what I was hoping, and by the time he caught up to the back of me, I was just had nothing I could do but let him go and try to hold off for second, which then friggin' Matt ran me down at the very end too, and we had a nice little fight for second place.
Yeah, you had a fantastic battle in that third stage. I mean, when everybody was pitting and we saw you go those couple extra laps, we knew it was coming down to that, and coming down to that, just a finite delta. And J-Mac was saying that if that 24 truck wasn't out there, you know, that would have been a winning strategy, and it definitely was. It's just when you're fighting that much of a pace, you got to do anything you can. But you took a 15th place truck and made it a second place truck tonight, Leafs. Great job to you, buddy. Awesome finish. And J-Mac rounded out with the top 3. Let's talk to Go Fast Matt.
We're here with eSpark admin, known colloquially as Go Fast Matt.
Yeah! I like that word.
And came home third place tonight. Yeoman's work. What were you thinking? Maybe that third stage, you finally kind of rode in the top 5, in and out, and then there in the third stage, you kind of came alive and you were riding right behind Track Bar. Do you think you might have had something for him at that point?
Well, J-Mac revealed my secret identity behind this account. But, no, that was a pretty fun race. I think everybody pretty much enjoyed themselves. I had a good car. I think I might have been on par with Track Bar. I was just riding behind him for the third stage. When we came down pit road, we had a long pit stop, and then when he got that gap, he was just gone. I couldn't catch him. I can't congratulate Trek Bar enough and Leaf Justin for holding me off for second. But overall, that was just another great race.
Another great race, and I guess you just answered my question. I was gonna say, I was gonna ask what you were thinking there when you came up, and if you could run him down. But well, what else? What did you need out there? What did you need more to maybe be able to keep up with that 24 truck?
I don't think the setup that I put in last night saved. I loaded up and my car was ever living tight. I made a bunch of swings on the pit stop and got it a little bit better, but I just didn't think it was all there.
Well, congratulations on the third place finish, a well-run race, and back to Tyler Dohar.
Thank you very much, J-Mac.
Yeah, guys. I want to thank you all for a fantastic event, putting on a great show. We were talking, Matt, putting on this series. That's all Go Fast Matt and the help of his admins. You got Fry Dog helping out, Mike DB doing some of the paperwork and stuff, but Matt putting this thing together. That's a tribute to him, and it showed on a great racing product. I want to thank everybody who came to watch. I know it wasn't too much fun to watch one guy beat up on everybody else, but we tried to make it fun here. Special thank you to Brian and Fluffy for joining us. You had LeBron James out there just having his way with some G League stars. But at the end of the day, it was a great show. he put on a house. He put it on a clinic. He did what he was out there to do, and he made it happen. So, guys, thank you. Matt, tell them where we're at next week, and then we're signing off, boys.
Next week, we're heading to Iowa, boys.
All right, Iowa Speedway, 30 trucks, same bat time, same bat channel. Sure, it'll probably be J-Mac and I will be bringing it to you live here on this Twitch. So again, thank you guys so much for coming out to watch. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you Sunday on HD Motorsports YouTube channel for the Cup Series when we're at Michigan. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning out. This is JR.